What's up, everybody? Welcome to your third dose of the weekly pulls this week. Yesterday I did my weekly reviews of my pulls at the shop. We also did a podcast earlier today. Check that out. It's on Anchor and Spotify, soon coming to Apple and other platforms as soon as we're approved. And now we're headed to my Indie Spotlight, second edition. Indie Spotlight! First up, all of my thank yous are in order right here. All of you fantastic creators that have inboxed me on Twitter, thank you so much for sending me your books. I really appreciate it. First up, we have at Ryder P. Hayden on Twitter, head of at ASAP Comics UK. This is a nice publishing company based out of the UK. All my British homies, check these guys out. The two books they're highlighting on their website right now is Messiah and Points of Villainy. Definitely give those guys a shout. We love indie publishers. ASAP, thank you guys so much. Next up, we have Jonathan Thompson. Jonathan currently has a 48-page hardcover original graphic novel in the works on Kickstarter. Check out his Kickstarter. Back it if you're into it. It's about a serial killer working for the Yakuza. It looks super cool. Jonathan has also sent me a book in the past called A Game of Doubles. That book's about two twin brothers, double crossing, double wives, doubles in tennis. Super great. Jonathan Thompson, thank you so much for sending me your books and your ideas. Next we have Glenn Matchett, at Glenn_Matchett on Twitter. Glenn is a super cool guy. Me and Glenn, we've talked a little bit here and there. Super nice guy, family man. Glenn sent me all of the books that he's written. I'm going to go over the two that I really like the most. First up, we have Sparks, issue number 1. Fans of Stumptown, including myself, Melanie Sparks is better than Dex Perios, and I say that with all my heart. I loved this book, Glenn. Sparks follows private investigator Melanie Sparks. She's investigating the murder of a prominent British actress. This is a great story, fantastic twist at the end. I didn't see it coming. I love the art in this book. Glenn, you write really well, buddy. My favorite genre is crime, and Glenn pulled at my heartstrings. I love a good crime book, and Glenn, you're the man, buddy. Next, he wrote Hamster Man. Hamster Man is exactly what it sounds like. It's a short, campy, funny comic about a superhero called Hamster Man. He's really just an ordinary guy running around in a hamster costume, fighting crime. First issue he sent me, he saves the day from a bank robber. My favorite panel, he's running around in this hamster ball, full-grown man in a giant hamster ball. That was really funny. Guys, definitely check out at Glenn_Matchett on Twitter. Hit him up. He's a super nice guy. He writes great stuff. His books are available on Comixology. Definitely worth checking out. On to the next one. John Luzzer, he inboxed me his book, Marguerite versus the Occupation. The Kickstarter goes live for this on July the 20th, so you got a couple more weeks if you want to check this out and you want to back it. I think it's worth it. I really enjoyed this comic. It's a one-shot story. It's about this girl named Marguerite. Nazis have invaded in her town. They've taken over her home. Marguerite then runs into some resistance fighters. Her and this French resistance fighter, they have to work together to get the Nazis out of her home. It's a really good story. I love the art. It's written really well. John and his team, they have a really good vision here. I like what they're doing. John, I hope you and your team create more books like this. I really like this story. Marguerite versus the Occupation on Kickstarter. Jason Lennox, at Lennox Artist. He sent me his issues of Lords of the Cosmos. Whoa. These books are long and they're worth it. This series is for fans of the 80s. Characters like He-Man, G.I. Joe. Chapter 1 in this series is called Umex Rising. Umex has one mission, destroying the planet Aiden. This series is nothing short of great characters. I'm going to put them back behind me here real fast. We're just going to shuffle through them. Not too quick though, because I want you to get a good look. There's a crazy cyborg unicorn. There's a cyber crab. There's some really fun characters in here, you guys. These books are clean, detail and the artwork is excellent. These comics are just good, classic good versus evil just for the sake of it being. I really enjoyed Lords of the Cosmos. Jason also has a Kickstarter coming up for the Satanic Coloring Book, Volumes 1 and 2. Check that out on Kickstarter if you want to see Jason's latest work. He did tell me that Lords of the Cosmos is on hiatus for just the moment. He's really focusing on the Satanic Coloring Book. Definitely check out Jason on Twitter. Get a hold of Lords of the Cosmos. Really good stuff here, you guys. Vernon Smith, at Vernon Draws on Twitter, did me the favor of sending me his book, Bigfoot Frankenstein. I love this book, you guys. It's such a unique story. It was hilarious, wholesome. I loved it. The story starts out, all of the Bigfoots are killed. We have Jude Frankenstein, and I quote, the great, however many great grandchild of Dr. Frankenstein. He finds all the corpses of the Bigfoot in the woods. He then does what Frankensteins do. He then gathers all the best body parts from all of the dead bodies, creating one Bigfoot, and resurrects him with, of course, lightning. This story is hilarious. There's a lot of good, wholesome moments in here involving the Bigfoot. Full of sarcasm. I love the way they narrated this book. This is an all-around great comic, and Jay and Silent Bob approve of Bigfoot Frankenstein. That's as good as an endorsement as mine. Hit up Vernon Smith on Twitter. Get you a hold of Bigfoot Frankenstein. I promise you won't regret it. Okay, I have one more indie book, but this is the big surprise. This is the big announcement. This is what you've been waiting for. This is a weekly pulls first. I was fortunate to be sent this fantastic indie title, Midnight Highway. I love this book. I can't wait to tell you about it, but I'm going to wait because next Saturday I'm going to have the pleasure of interviewing Mike Tenner and Alex Madej, the co-writers of this fantastic indie book. It's going to be great. We're going to interview over Skype, and then I'm going to upload it here to my YouTube channel. Midnight Highway, it's phenomenal. I can't wait to tell you guys about this. I'll post some links for the Kickstarter to Midnight Highway in the description of this video. That way you guys can check it out, get you a little sneak peek. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it hush-hush because next Saturday, me and the creators, we're going to dive in and we're going to give y'all a good overview of everything about this book, where it came from, their ideas, all of it. You don't want to miss it. Thank all of you so much for all of your support on YouTube, Twitter, the new podcast. You guys rock. Following the big announcement of doing my first interview next Saturday, any and all indie creators, please follow me on Twitter at The Weekly Pulls. Get in my DMs. Let's talk. I'll review your books. Do you want to be interviewed? We can do it over YouTube. You can be on my podcast with my buddy Tevin. Possibilities are endless now. The Weekly Pulls is branching out. My first indie spotlight video is my most watched video on my channel. You guys have spoken. This is the content you want. This is the content you're gonna get. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune in next week for the next episode of the Weekly Pulls podcast. Tune in next Saturday, maybe Sunday, depending on when I get it posted, for the interview with the fantastic creators Mike Tenner and Alex Madej. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for checking out the Weekly Pulls. I'll see you soon.